Wall Street giant Goldman Sachs dropping all COVID protocols and will be requiring all employees to return to the office 5 days a week. Joining us now, Lydia Moynihan, New York Post Wall Street reporter. I try to keep my own opinions out of this, Lydia. We were supposed to, remember 2020? We're supposed to reopen by Easter. What is Goldman Sachs, what is their conclusions now? The pandemic is over and it's not that important anymore. I felt that way for a while. I'm healthy. I've been vaccinated many times. I've gotten the boosters. I've had COVID. So I haven't worried about it or worn a mask in a long time. So this seems like late to the game. But for the corporate world, which is so CYA focused, this is like a big risk for Goldman Sachs to do this?
Well, I think if you read between the lines of the memo, yes, this is a memo about lifting all COVID protocols. But I think this is really about not just a memo to employees, but sort of a marketing campaign to all of these banks' clients, right? If you are a company, you are coming in to hire a bank at a seminal moment, and they are a gun for hire. You're paying an arm and a leg because you want them to be efficient, to be aggressive, and to do a fabulous job. You want a bank that is going to have employees who eat nails for breakfast, who work on Labor Day weekend, work on holidays, right? You don't want an investment bank with employees who need emotional support dogs to get through the day, who are blaming COVID or worried about being exposed to an illness and using that as an excuse to stay home. You don't want people who are going to switch off their phones at 5 p.m. because they're worried about work-life balance. You don't want someone who's going to try and quiet quit. The quiet quitters are not going to make it across the investment banking Rubicon. And David Solomon and Jamie Dimon, they all get that. So as much as this is a shot across the bow to employees, I think this is also a way to sort of burnish their brand's image. Investment banking revenues are down, and they really want to promote themselves as sort of the top tier bank that is going to get the work done. And so this really is a marketing campaign, I think. And David Solomon wants to sort of paint himself as somebody who's first and foremost going to put clients first and demand that his people come back to the office.
We have a segment almost every day on back to work. And there's two options. Either there's a new normal where it's a hybrid model for forever, or what David Solomon and Goldman Sachs are saying. It's over. There's no new normal. Come back here. Whatever you get from the camaraderie and whatever goes on in face-to-face office settings that's important, we're going to have that again, and we're not going to. Are we going to accomplish that eventually, Lydia? Or are there going to be stragglers that 2 and 3 years from now are still, not having people come back?
Well, if you speak about Wall Street, I think this is an industry where people will be expected to be back. As I mentioned, these banks want to pitch themselves to clients as places where they want people in 5 days a week. And the other piece of this that the New York Post reported on last week, Jamie Dimon is sort of quietly making a stealth campaign to get his people back 5 days a week. And of course, this comes as he's investing nearly $3 billion to build a new global headquarters that's taking up an entire city block in Manhattan. So a lot of these firms have made huge bets on real estate. They can't go back and undo that. And when these offices at JP Morgan open in 2025, Jamie Dimon doesn't want 3 people showing up to the office. So I do think the real estate component is a big piece of this debate. And I think the other thing here is that, Wall Street was not designed from a compliance standpoint to have people work from home. And so we even saw this week, the FT has been reporting Morgan Stanley's putting in-house attorneys to monitor trading desks, right? And so I think from a compliance standpoint, that is another piece. It's really difficult to monitor people and make sure they're doing good work and not breaking rules if they're from home.